Picture this, a recording studio somewhere far, far away.
Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion on the 20th of September 2021. I can't believe we're actually nearly the end of September. Crazy where the time goes, isn't it? Anyway, this wasn't today's planned review. There's going to actually be... Well, no, you wait and see, because I'm going to do it for tomorrow instead, okay? This is Bubble Bobble, as you can probably see there, on the MSX, which I just don't cover enough of. I think I've done maybe 2 or 3 MSX reviews, or maybe less than that. So I thought I'd give this a go, because I really enjoyed Gradius the other day, so I thought I'd give this one a go and see how it compares to the arcade and also some of its home computer compadres. So there we are. Bubble Bobble. And doesn't it look grand? If I didn't tell you this was the MSX, what would you think it was on? Just give me a hint in the comments. If you didn't know this was MSX, what would you think it was on? I would have gone Amiga, maybe? Maybe? I don't know. It's so far, it's very, very good visually. The little dragon, I think we're on Bub here, is absolutely fantastically drawn and animated, which is nice. And so far, so good. Yes. But the screens are nice as well. You've got some really good colour here, and that was always the thing with the Spectrum. It didn't have much of a colour palette, and Bubble Bobble on the Spectrum was quite impressive. Apart from the sound effects, that is actually an actual sound effect that I have emulated. Yes, so there we are. It's nice to be back playing arcade games again. But Tato. Yeah, I'm sure it was Tato, yes. Tato. Every time I say that, it sounds like I'm saying potato. So, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I do apologise. But it's Tato. T-A-I... Tato. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so far so good. Very, very genuine to the arcade version. Graphically, I can't really... There's nothing. I can't say anything about the graphics, apart from they're excellent and spot on. In case you wonder what I was trying to do there, I was trying to delay the bursting bubbles so I could get down and get the bubble gum, which is nice. It's just so colourful. You've got all the nice... You've got the green bubbles, obviously. I believe this is 2-player simultaneous, which obviously is, a massive plus. Saying that, the Spectrum was 2 players at the same time, which is actually quite impressive. So you've got the Extend as well. Once you get that, you get an extra life. And that's, again, so far, this is arcade perfect. Now, the only thing I'm going to gripe about, and it is only a little thing, but the jumping isn't exactly brilliant. Not quite sure what they did wrong with the jumping mechanism here, but it just doesn't jump very far at all. I don't remember that being an issue before, but all the enemy sprites are here, which is great. Oh, see what I mean about the jumping? Yeah, that is a minor issue, because it doesn't necessarily spoil the game. No, but that does. But no, that's my fault. So, yeah. The jumping just doesn't go far enough, as far as I'm concerned, which is a bit of a shame. And those guys throw massive cookies at you, which is not good. It is good if you like cookies, not good because they kill you. Anyway, I crack on. The animation is very, very cutesy, as you would expect from Bubble Bobble. Maybe the sprites are quite small, but I guess when you've got limited memory to play around with, then this is actually a very, very good conversion, I've got to say. Now, Bubble Bobble was one of my favourite arcade games on the home systems, so if you had an MSX or an MSX2, then this would be what you would have played on yours. And Spectrum owners would have been green, like Bub, with envy, unlike Bob. So yes, because Bob's blue. But loving this, really, really nice. Great little game, plays very smoothly. Exactly the arcade perfect kind of conversion you want at home, with the exception of the bad jumping mechanism. But other than that, it's not too bad. So you've got button 1 that does the jumping, you've got button 2 that does the bubble blowing, then you've got your up, down, left, right as standard. So there's your controls, and Out of 10, the controls are actually probably about 8.5. It's just that jumping that's a bit of a poo. It jumps when you want it to, just not necessarily where you want it to. And also I seem to have this problem with turning round randomly when blowing bubbles, but I'm not sure if that's just the joystick I'm using, which it could be. But on the whole, Bubble Bobble fans, you're going to lap this one up, I promise you. I'm going to look at Pac-Mania as well on the MSX, because that's another game I really enjoyed on the Specky, and on the Amiga as well, and the arcade. Yeah, so that'll be another game that comes in the future. Now, I'm going to be looking at a homebrew game next, which is going to be great. Now, it's up to you. I've got the Commodore 64 version of it, and I've also got the MSX version of it. Let me know in the comments which one you would like to see first, because I'm going to do them both, but not one after the other, but I'm going to do them both so that you get a chance to see both of them, but it's up to you. Let me know what you'd like to see it on first, C64 or MSX. Not going to tell you what it is, it's a surprise. So there. Anyway, let's move on to sound, because the sound in the game is actually very good as well. You've got the actual arcade soundtrack popping along in the background, which is lovely, and you've got the bubble blowing sound effects as well. I believe you've also got the do sound effect as well when the timer is about to run out. But as you can see, the levels are getting steadily harder, so I suspect we'll probably see Baron von Blubber very, very soon. But yeah, arcade perfection on the sound score. I'm not doing very well at this, am I? But yeah, it's very good, and if you can play 2 players, which I think you can because player 2 score is up in that top right hand corner, then I think that would be a great fun playing alongside with your friends. If you haven't got any friends, play with a cat. So yes, this is Bubble Bobble on the MSX, and I would say that this is, playability wise, you are going to be wanting to play this a lot. So that kind of crosses over into lastability as well, replay value. It's got tons of replay value because, as you're probably aware, this game is not easy to complete. There are 2 or 3 endings to this game, and there is a way of unlocking them, so you probably need to research that because I'm not going to do spoilers, it's not what I'm about. So there you go. Over 100 levels, I believe. So get stuck in, have a go. I'm not sure if there's any warps or anything on the MSX version, but I know the Specky. I don't think the Specky had any. I did try and see if New Zealand Story made its way onto the MSX, but I don't think it did. Oh, they've just frozen them all in time. Oh, I am invincible. Invincible. There you go. So I can now jump on them and give them a good kicking. Because seeing 2 just isn't the right wording for that, is it? Anyway, the levels are actually really nice as well. They are exactly how you would find them on the arcade version, and if you're familiar with the arcade, then you're just going to go, I remember these screens, I remember this level, it's great. Until you get knocked out by one of them, which I seem to be avoiding so far, which is great. Difficulty level, I mean, it's got a nice learning curve, this game. You can start, I would say younger players, you'll be alright for the first sort of 10 levels, but then it does start to increase in difficulty. There's good old Baron there, who disappears as soon as you have been hit. I love the fact that the backgrounds make up shapes as well. You've got a face in the background there, which is lovely. And it's just great. You've got all the power-ups as well. You've got your bubble speed up, bubble length, or range I should say. You've got your speed up shoes. I don't think they're very common, but they are here. And it's just... oh, I'm loving this. Yes, it's like welcoming back an old friend. This game, you haven't seen it for a while, but you know it's there. You miss it, but then when you play it again, it's like that warm fuzzy feeling. So, yeah, I would recommend if you haven't played this game at all, which is shocking if you haven't, and go and have a word with yourself because that's just wrong. Here's where the jumping comes in handy, where the lack of jumping, I should say, doesn't come in handy. I love the fact that you can use different elements as well in the bubbles. So that's nothing to do with what you can do, but random levels will have things like water, fire and electricity bolts, which you can stun, fry, drown the enemies in, and that helps you out a little bit in the level. You also get far tastier loot when you kill them with their special bubbles. As you can see there's a diamond, and that is worth 7,000 on the old scoreboard. You can see my score there in the top, which is 9. Oh, it's just gone up to 105,000, which is lovely. Now I think the level is in the middle there. That 13 is level 13. So there's loads of levels to this game, and they do get progressively harder. Age range, go on, start them from 4 years old. Probably these days, kids are so smart. You could probably start them off from like 2, and you know they'll lap up the cartoony graphics as well, which is lovely because it does hit them on that level as well, which is fantastic to see. Now there's a crossover. I'm going to try and get it because I don't know what it does, but let's try and get it anyway. Oh, cool. Okay, now I'm throwing fireballs around the screen. Excellent. And they've just turned into turkey legs for absolutely no reason. And they look like Scottish hats. Great. And yeah, so replay value, playability, spot on. You're going to come back again and again, and you'll even replay it loads of times with your friends, because why not? Playing with friends is so much better than playing with yourself. Oh dear. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you shortly, and then you can have a little look at the game with the volume pumped up a bit, so you can actually hear the soundtrack playing and the sound effects as well. And I hope you enjoyed the review. So thank you ever so much for tuning in and joining me on our retro journey. We have so much more to go. But yeah, this is a lovely little game, and I thoroughly recommend you play it. Until next time, my friends, which will be very soon, then I bid you a very good evening. Oh yeah, bye for now. Ta-da!
Incoming transmission.